It is exactly 10 p.m. this 17th day of April 2026. Welcome to the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Arnold. Mugalu Muhammad is on sign language. Without further ado, let's give you the news in detail. In our top story, Uganda Prison Service has passed out over 1,000 new warders and wardresses at the Luzira prison grounds in Kampala. The new recruits bring the number of prison staff to 14,337. The Vice President representing the President urged the recruits to uphold discipline and professionalism, warning against reckless lifestyles as they begin their service. Our reporter Ivan Kawa has more.
Uganda Prison Service has passed out 1,238 trainees who successfully completed a 9-month basic prisons management course. 913 are male officers, while 326 are female officers. The course, conducted in 4 phases, focused on equipping trainees with the values and skills required to maintain security and ensure the proper treatment of inmates.
Trainees do internship, what we call attachment. And these trainees were distributed in different prisons all over the country. They took 1 month while doing that attachment. The purpose was for trainees to practice what they were taught at the school.
The Uganda Prison Services had initially registered 1,255 members to enroll for the course, but 17 did not make it. 6 gave medical reasons, while the other 6 requested to leave, while 5 escaped from the course.
Sometimes things, I think, became so hard and they decided to take off.
This latest intake brings the total number of uniformed prison staff to 14,337, supported by an additional 475 civilian personnel, representing just 38% of the approved establishment.
In 2005, we were a force of 3,000. Today, the service is 14,000. I want to thank His Excellency the President for personally taking interest and decisive steps to ensure that we build our capacity in terms of personnel.
Uganda Prisons has also established a prisons engineering brigade, which is currently undertaking infrastructure projects within the prisons facilities.
Is continuing to build wards and cells in very many prisons in the country, accommodation, and in a few months to come, we hope to get rid of Manyata in our barracks.
Meanwhile, government is in the process of establishing integrated production industries within prisons to boost self-sufficiency, including the production of uniforms at an estimated cost of 565 billion shillings.
We would also like to produce all the ceremonial regalia for our armed forces. That's pips, gadgets, and swords, etc. I don't see why we should spend money giving it to other people as if we don't have capacity. We can build that capacity.
Authorities say more classified stores have been secured to strengthen safety and security following a recent incident in which 2 young officers were shot.
Unfortunately, these young officers were not armed.
A suspect in the case has since been arrested.
We have these classified stores now, and all the officers, all the commissioned officers will be armed. This could have been a deterrent when we got that unfortunate incident.
I will relay the messages in form of a report to His Excellency the President exactly the way you presented them.
The Vice President, Major Jessica Alupo, who officiated at the ceremony on behalf of the President, urged the new officers to uphold discipline and live exemplary lives in the execution of their duties.
I welcome you to a noble and a respectable service that is anchored on discipline, professionalism, and patriotic service to your country. A united and peaceful Uganda is good for wealth creators. It gives them an opportunity to sell their goods and services without any interference. In addition to the United Ugandan market, the NRM has awakened Ugandans to outside markets in the East African region and on the African continent. I want to urge the warders and wardresses to adopt healthy lifestyles. If you know that you are a patriot and that your family and your country depend on you, you cannot handle your life recklessly. You cannot drink alcohol. You cannot be promiscuous. You cannot be lazy at work. You should do sports and exercises in order to be fit and lead a disciplined life.
As of April 17, 2026, Uganda Prisons is holding 79,833 inmates, including 42,886 convicts, 36,286 remand prisoners, and 661 debtors, far exceeding the holding capacity of 23,184.
And in our UBC News tonight, court has heard the testimony from two medical experts who assessed the mental state of Christopher Okello, the accused person in the gruesome murder of 4 toddlers at Gaba Best Child Care Center. A psychiatrist attached to the Uganda Police Force, Dr. Niwamanya Emmanuel, told court that during interrogation, Okello allegedly admitted to killing 4 children, claiming that the act was linked to a belief in fortune hunting and wealth acquisition, a belief he said that was rooted in his childhood. Meanwhile, Dr. Rogers Agenda from IHK, who carried out the initial psychiatric evaluation, testified that the accused was mentally stable at the time of the examination. Both doctors further told court that although Okello reported a history of mental illness in 2016 and 2025, in their professional opinion, that history did not contribute or explain the killings.
The Mobile High Court Criminal Division sitting in Gaba has continued hearing the murder case in which 4 children were allegedly killed, with Christopher Okello as the accused. The proceedings, presided over by Judge Alice Komhan Kauka, had testimony from prosecution witness number 10, Dr. Niwamanya Emmanuel, a psychiatrist attached to Uganda Police. He told court that he examined Okello on 7th April 2026 after receiving a request from Gaba Police Station. Niwamanya testified that upon examination, he observed injuries on various parts of the accused's body.
Bruises on the abdomen on the right side, 2 centimeters by 1 centimeter. He also had bruises across the back, 8 centimeters by 3 centimeters on the left.
He further told court that during interrogation, Okello appeared to be of sound mind, exhibiting normal behavior and cooperating. During the assessment,
he had history of past mental illness. I wrote the findings above. I noted as a listing of a mental condition with psychotic episodes, as a listing of a mental condition.
However, based on his evaluation, the doctor noted that the accused had a mental condition characterized by psychotic episodes.
He got the idea on recalling childhood folk tales of getting wealth, childhood folk tales.
Dr. Niwamanya also confirmed to court that during interrogation, Okello disclosed that he had a past mental illness between 2016 and 2025. He further stated that the accused was able to clearly explain his alleged reasons for killings, which he linked to beliefs in fortune hunting and personal enrichment.
What did he tell you? He had history of past mental illness, treated between the year 2016 and 2025.
The doctor additionally told court that Okello allegedly confessed to killing his 3-year brother between 2016 and 2017, claiming he did this in order to save himself from the troubles of the world.
In wealth by human sacrifice. He killed his 3-year-old brother in the year 2016 or 2017.
Following his examination in chief, Dr. Niwemanya was cross-examined by the defense. Prosecution witness number 11, Dr. Rogers Agenda, a psychiatrist at CK IHK, also testified before court. He told court that he first interacted with the accused when Okello was referred by the Ministry of Internal Affairs for a psychiatric report to support his application for Ugandan citizenship, which was later granted.
He also told me that he has no history of having had any traumatic experience in his life. That is a question that can help me elicit if someone has what we call PTSD.
Dr. Agenda testified that during his assessment on 30th December 2025, Okello reported no history of excessive fear, persistent worry, or abnormal goal-direct behavior.
That this person could be acting under the influence of probably voices, is hearing in his head, or could be seeing things others could see. He had lethargic mode. That's what we call basically a normal mode.
He added that in his professional opinion, the accused appeared normal at the time of evaluation. This first psychiatric assessment of him,
plus my personal mental state examination at the time he presented to me, I established that Mr. Oyon Christopher had no established mental disorder.
During cross-examination, Dr. Gaba acknowledged the defense's position regarding prolonged suffering from sickle cell disease and its possible link to mental disorders. After hearing the evidence in chief, Judge Alice Comhand Kauka adjourned the case to 20th April 2026 for further hearing, and the accused was further remanded to Rwesande Government Prison. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
Children of soldiers under their group Toto Wajesh have organized the victory celebrations in honor of the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni following what they describe as his win in the 2026 general elections. The event, dubbed Operation Victory Wave, is being spearheaded by Nayebare Phoebe and is scheduled for April 18, 2026 at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds.
Organizers say the celebration is intended to mark what they describe as a landslide victory for President Museveni in the recently just concluded polls. Beyond the celebrations, Toto Wajesh say the event will also serve as a platform to showcase a number of innovations they have undertaken to address poverty within their communities.
We are going to introduce our works to Jaja, the system that we built as children of soldiers, the AI, the ICT systems we built as children of soldiers.
Come and we show you what we have done, and in the mobilization we were engaged fully.
They have further revealed that transport arrangements have been put in place to facilitate participants traveling from different districts across the country.
I want to
tell you that all these children of soldiers are pleading to see you. You, not a delegator, not anybody else, but they are yearning to see you. So tomorrow we shall be expectant to see Your Excellency.
The youth also described the event as an opportunity to express appreciation to the president for his leadership, particularly in areas such as free education and employment opportunities.
Abaana b'abalwanyi tugenda kuba nga tudigida nga tukyakala nga twebaza jjajja ate nga tujaganya olw'emirembe. Kati buli ali eyo jangu naddala munnayuganda nga okkiriza olw'emirembe nga tukkiriza nti jjajja President Museveni aleese eddembe jangu olunaku lwenkya tugenda kudigida.
Operation in big numbers, that is the wave, and after we were victorious. And we are here to tell Mzee that this is an Operation Victory Wave.
The Operation Victory Wave celebrations will take place on April 18th at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds.
The Deputy Prime Minister for Foreign Affairs and Inter-Kingdom Relations in Tooro Kingdom, Henry Mutegeki, has praised the leadership of King Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru Rukidi IV as he marked his 34th birthday. In his message, Basaliza commended the youthful monarch for steering development in the kingdom, highlighting progress in education, cultural preservation, and community empowerment. He attributed these achievements to the king's commitment to improving the welfare of his people. Basaliza also applauded the National Resistance Movement government for restoring traditional kingdoms, saying that it has strengthened cultural identity and unity among Ugandans. At the same time, he rallied citizens to participate in the upcoming birthday run for Muhoozi Kainerugaba, Gaba, scheduled for April 26th, noting that it aims to raise funds for vulnerable communities. He concluded by congratulating Yoweri Kaguta Museveni upon his victory in the 2026 general elections, expressing confidence in continued national development.
So now, for example, we are now going to begin MTN Amasaza tournament, which should kick off in the next 1 month or less. So this has gone a long way in uniting our people, in uniting the youth, and also discovering talent. So I would like to thank His Majesty in this direction, and because he's the one who did the lobbying to bring MTN on board, to bring other sponsors, to make sure that the tournament stays on for the years it has been on. And also, during the celebration of his birthday, he decided not to celebrate his birthday. But what he normally does is to take care of his people. Now, like this year's birthday, there has been a surgical camp. And this surgical camp, people are being worked on, people with different ailments, but most especially those who have bone issues and nerve issues related to all that. So this year there has been a surgical camp. People have even done testing, and he's very passionate on HIV and AIDS. So the testing is done, and even people are they have been also talked to. They have been counseled. Counseling lessons have taken place. So there is a lot that is being done as Tooro Kingdom and our king. I would like to thank the NRM government, and in particular retired General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, our president, for the restoration of cultural institutions. And let me also add a voice and congratulate him upon winning the last concluded elections. This was one of the most decisive elections in the modern times in our country. So I'd like to thank each and everyone, most especially the Ugandan voters who turned up to vote for him, and also wish him luck in the next 5 years. For us as citizens, we shall go ahead and support him to make sure that he delivers on the agenda that he promised, on the manifesto that he gave us. Fellow patriots, fellow countrymen, I would like to invite all of you to the MK birthday run in celebration of the 52 years of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. It is a run for charity, a run for hope. The proceeds will be supporting the needy people. So it is not about a run for enjoyment, but it is a run for charity and hope. So we shall be in the proceeds will support our people, and also to make sure that we celebrate with our general.
The Patriotic League of Uganda has unveiled the official kit for the General Muhoozi Kainerugaba's 52nd birthday run, scheduled for the 26th of April 2026 at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds. The unveiling took place this Friday afternoon at the PLU offices in Naguru, where the Secretariat also announced a lineup of sponsors, including the Speaker of Parliament, the Deputy Speaker, and businessman Hamis Kigundu, among others, ahead of the commemorative event.
This year's Genome Host Kainerugaba's 52nd birthday run is set for 26th April 2026 in Kampala.
We expect this one to be massive, so we want to invite all of you to come on the 26th of this month. We shall begin at exactly 7 a.m. but arrival time is 6 a.m.
The public event happening at Colorado Ceremonial Grounds is open to all members of the general public under one requirement of purchasing the run kit.
Security has already guided us all on how we are going to run, and we request all of you to follow the guidelines that have been put in place by Uganda Police.
During the unveiling event held this Friday afternoon at the PLU Secretariat in Nakuru, it was confirmed that the 4-star general will lead the front line.
The chief runner is General Muhoozi Kainerugaba himself, and he will be there as early as possible.
According to the party's Secretary General Daudi Kabanda, each kit goes for 20,000 shillings and can be secured from different selling points across the city.
So I want to call upon every Ugandan to go to all our stores and buy these kits.
This year's Genome Host Kainerugaba's birthday marathon will run under the theme Run for Charity, Run for Hope.
We are going to be supporting our young children and also to run for hope, because when there is no hope, you know everything is now done for you.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Minister of State for Lands, Dr. Sam Mayanja, has stepped into a heated land dispute involving about 28 acres of Ochieng 1 village in Nansa na Wakiso district after allegations that ancestral land belonging to the family of the late Daudi Ochieng was allegedly sold without his children's consent. The intervention follows a petition to the president by the family, who are demanding answers over how the land, after which the village is named, changed hands amid claims of irregular transactions.
Linda Ochieng, one of the daughters of the late Daudi Ochieng, says that after her father's death, the estate was legally distributed among family members. She explains that when they later returned from abroad, they discovered the land had already been occupied and sold to multiple tenants, commonly known as Bibanja holders.
It came out, it somehow disappeared. I didn't know where it went, and that was in 2006. It produced that I had signed a transfer and my sister had received money. How can I sign a transfer and my sister receives money? And instead of it being signed by both of us, it really confused us.
However, the occupants, led by one Joseph Kamyabu Kenya, insist they lawfully purchased the land from Charles Lulio Balaba. They maintain that they hold valid sale agreements and have lived on the land for over 18 years.
In conjunction with Linda and Joanito Ochieng, who at the time were abroad, decided to sell their land to a one Charles C. Lulio Balaba. And the mother title was availed for subdivision of the land to get his 23 acres of land. Honorable Minister, ekyo kye kitulaga nti era ndowooza gojja okusalawo eggulu lino naye bombi babyapa.
Linda Ochieng, however, insists that the occupants must either vacate the land or repurchase it from the rightful owners.
All people who are interested, who are sitting on this land, I will be able to give the district, Wakiso district, the original title so that they can, if they pay me, they can buy themselves off.
More than 200 affected residents have rejected this demand, arguing that they already paid for the land and should not be required to make additional payments. The dispute has been further complicated by claims from Buganda Land Board Limited, which is also contesting ownership of the same land. In his directive, Minister Mayanja clarified aspects of ownership, but instructed occupants to remain in possession for now.
That land public land administered by Wakiso District Land Board. The District Land Board will now issue titles to each one of them. So I've now put in place a committee. I had indicated 30 days, but now they have requested 60 days.
The minister also directed the Nansana RDC, Charles Wanga, to investigate Charles Lurio Baraba and his associates over alleged fraudulent land transactions.
RDC, anonyereze era akwate Lurio.
The minister has issued a directive and ordered and actually formed a commission which will be chaired by the RDC Wakiso and the Dean of RDCs in place for 2 months, where each of Chibanja holder, Chibanja owner, will get a land title from the land owner.
The National Water and Sewerage Corporation is seeking over 8 trillion shillings to finance an ambitious 5-year development plan aimed at expanding water access and increasing its customer base and also strengthening infrastructure. The plan also includes upgrading and replacing aging systems in more than 40 towns where facilities have outlived their design lifespan. The funding needs were revealed during the corporation's biannual stakeholders Baraza held at the International Resource Center in Bugolobi.
The Baraza attracted a wide range of local government leaders from RDCs, LOC5 chairpersons, city mayors and chief administrative officers, among others.
So we shall be improving water supply services in Bugiri.
Top on the agenda was an update on the different ongoing projects countrywide targeting to improve service delivery in as far as access to clean water for all is concerned.
Constructing a river Namatara to augment the water supply services within Valley. One of the challenges we've been having is that during the dry season, the flows or the capacity within the river tend to drop, and that ends up affecting water supply services in the city. But this is now going to be addressed with the completion of this project.
Accordingly, National Water is looking for over 8 trillion shillings to finance her ambitious 5-year strategic plan that seeks to, among others, increase its customer and assets base through increased connections from the current 1 million to at least 1.25 million.
And when we do that, we shall increase the number of people we are serving from about 22 million now to about 26 million. And of course, this will be done because we are going to put in money. And this plan needs about 8.2 trillion Uganda shillings, which we are going to mobilize through government, development partners, but also our own resources as an institution.
Promising Corporation Managing Director says they are carrying out research to establish a lasting solution.
Our meters, just for a record, they are not able to measure technically low flows which are as a result of flashing at night, and you know how many people flash their systems at night. You know how many people are normally in these drinking joints. So all that water they use there is not measured by our meters. Even when you separate connections on a huge flat, all those numerous meters you put there, they don't record the water that is going through accurately. So we introduced this idea to the leaders that that's the problem we have, and we are doing more research on it. We want proper evidence down to see how much we are losing as a result of these systemic errors, so that we can be able to use the provisions of the law to deal with that issue.
Meanwhile, National Water and Sewage Corporation has earmarked plans to upgrade or replace infrastructure in 37 towns countrywide on grounds that most, if not all, infrastructure have surpassed their lifespan, as the Director for Infrastructure Planning and Development, Engineer Dennis Taremwa, explains.
We are coming into Kabong to ensure that you have surface water. We are coming into Kamwenge. There is some work that has been ongoing, but the water is not enough, so we want to upgrade the facility in Kamwenge.
Going by its mandate, National Water and Sewage Corporation exists to provide clean, safe water and sewage services in urban areas of Uganda. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Uganda Railways Corporation has introduced a dedicated school train service dubbed the Maiden Troop. The service was officially launched Friday at Mukono Railway Station, where students from various schools gathered to take part in the inaugural journey. According to URC spokesperson John Linon Sengendo, the train service is designed to not only transport students during school activities, but also to return them safely when schools reopen.
Excitement filled the air early in the morning as students from different schools gathered at the station eagerly boarding a train for what they described as a unique and memorable experience. As the train set off, the students settled in, enjoying the journey and taking insights along the route. Factories, residential areas, wetlands, and other landscapes rarely appreciated during road travel. The train made a brief stop at Nambole, where some students disembarked before the journey continued. Excitement still written on their faces. At Mukono Railway Station, most students waited with their luggage, ready to board for Kampala and surrounding areas. In an organized and efficient process, students boarded different wagons, turning the journey into both a travel experience and a learning opportunity. Teachers accompanying the students welcomed the initiative, saying it will help reduce traffic congestion, road accidents, and the high cost of transport.
Bringing our learners to come and go through the railway transport. Besides that, it's also adventurous. It's good for some of them because they are first timers, and we believe by going through the railway, they'll have a story to tell. Advise or encourage all of us to take on this as a means of transport for its purposes. For instance, it's efficient. Then also too, they have so many stopovers. As long as you're there, you can easily pick your child, and it will save you a lot. The inconvenience of moving back and forth, then the traffic, and besides that, even the accidents, because the roads are now slippery.
At Kampala Rail Station, parents who turned up to receive their children expressed relief and satisfaction, citing the safety and comfort of the train.
Excited that, we have a means of transport that can transport our children from school up to here in Kampala. It is very friendly, it is very cost efficient, it's very effective. If you look at the time that you spend from Kampala City here up to Seroma, passing through Namambe, passing through Mukono, passing through Seta, the duration of the time and the resources that you spend, you have to fuel a car of about 170,000 to go and come back. And now this train here helps us a lot as parents. I am so excited.
Uganda Railways Corporation spokesperson John Linon Sengendo says the maiden trip is part of a broader plan to revitalize rail transport in the country.
Today we started with from Mukono to Kampala because that is the active route we have now. And given that that route has a number of schools, we have deployed this train today, but we can still deploy it during times like this when kids are going back to school or they are coming from school. Traffic is a lot on the Jinja Road. So we said that why don't we provide a train? Because a train will transport students.
He adds that there are plans to introduce regular school transport schedules, especially during opening and closing days of the school terms.
We are going to work on the Mukono Jinja section. The Tooro line is already, works are already underway. They will be completed around October. So this is, like I said, this is the first one. We hope when the works on the Mukono Jinja are done to actually go east.
According to URC, the initiative provides a safer and more efficient alternative to road transport while helping to ease congestion and reduce accidents on major highways.
When you you don't use Momo, you are forced to quarrel.
Mama, kabalance? Mama, nkwenye nkumitano. Abantu abakuluma atandisa obuyayi mwena.
Obuyayi obuliga.
Iwe.
Ngobi yanko bantu
sente dange nizade kolera ngobi nakolera sente dange.
Save yourself from quarreling. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
On his 52nd birthday, General MK invites you for a charity run. The run will be held on 26th April 2026 at the Kololo Ceremonial Grounds starting at 6 a.m. Get yourself a kit using these MTN and Airtel payment platforms. Run for charity, run for hope.
Run for charity, run for hope.
Step into elegance, step into confidence, step into La Vie Boutique. Located at Grand Imperial Hotel, Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda. La Vie Boutique brings you high-class corporate and casual wear for men. From sharp designer suits and crisp shirts to stylish casual t-shirts, tracksuits, shoes and accessories, we've got everything to make you stand out. Call us on 0772 419 181 or 0705 555 558. La Vie Boutique, where class meets style.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Busongora County North in Kasese District may appear lush and fertile at first glance. Its rolling green landscape suggesting abundance and ease of life. But beyond the scenery lies a different reality. Communities here face steep terrain, limited infrastructure and long distances to essential services, making it one of the hardest to reach areas in the region. At Rwesande Health Center 4 in Kalisia, that challenge is felt every day as residents struggle to access even basic health care. This is the story of a place where beauty masks the burden of access and where getting help is often the hardest journey of all. Let's take a look.
Access to essential services remains a major challenge for communities in the mountainous North Busongora County. Poor road networks, inadequate health services, limited access to clean water, and unreliable electricity continue to hinder service delivery. Musoki Joan, a young mother from Kichwamba sub-county, is forced to walk several kilometers to return her sick child to Rwesande Health Center 4 for review. The child had earlier been diagnosed with stomach complications and referred to Kawarore Regional Health Referral Hospital for an X-ray service.
Tuandu travel command kikali travel na wana tuka hekomondo kwa njingu.
Tangere terro mubuti emwatwa kwa kokabe ngomwana. Ekesomo nihikiranizia kunde bakaba kapisa babantu. Bakaba mubanu tukakanira naye. Nerukikanya.
Right, Reverend Nason Baruko, the Bishop of South Rwenzori Diocese, the founding board of Rwesande Health Center 4 has unveiled plans to upgrade the facility to a hospital status. This, he says, will address the growing demands for specialized healthcare services in the region.
Appeal to government, my appeal to companies, my appeal to NGOs and individuals and all well-wishers to join us in the campaign so that we see Rwesande Health Center 4 be upgraded to a hospital.
The Bishop notes that the absence of radiology unit and other specialized services remains a critical gap.
But then when we had the assessment for the facility, it was realized that there was a gap in terms of acquiring an X-ray. When we looked at the cost of the X-ray, it was too much, but then we said, yes, we have the people. Let us bring people together.
Dr. Muhindo, a senior medical officer at Rwesande Health Center 4, highlights the urgent need for specialized services and personnel.
Basically, Rwesande is a church-founded institution under Church of Uganda, serving a rural population of around our catchment area is around 300,000 people.
Dr. Isaac also points to the difficult working conditions caused by the area's terrain, but says he remains committed to serving his community, describing this profession as a calling. Dr. Joseph Omo, a senior medical officer from the Ministry of Health Emergency Support Services Department, supports the call to upgrade the facility, citing the area's geographical challenges and growing healthcare needs.
We had difficulty reaching here. The terrain was really difficult, and I guess this is what the patients go through daily. And we had to walk for about 1 kilometer on foot because the vehicle could not move fast.
To support the upgrades, the South Rwenzori Diocese has organized a fundraising drive aimed at acquiring a fully equipped radiology unit. The chairperson of the organizing committee, Engineer Samson Bagonza, says approximately 300 million shillings is needed to establish the unit.
The dinner will be hosted by South Rwenzori Diocese to raise 300 million shillings that is required to set up a radiology unit at the health center. Now, setting up of this radiology unit is a requirement for Ministry of Health, such that the health center qualifies for upgrade into a hospital.
Story compiled by Stephen Kalisha for UBC News.
Government has intensified enforcement against illegal school charges across several districts, targeting institutions accused of denying learners access due to unpaid or unauthorized fees. The operation conducted earlier affected 4 schools, with several head teachers arrested in Mbale. Speaking today, Jimmy Nambiro, Private Secretary to the President in charge of Education and Skilling and Head of Education Desk in State House, warned that administrators imposing unlawful charges risk sanctions as government moves to safeguard equitable access to education.
President's word. You see, as the President has been issuing directives about head teachers stopping charging, there is even also a law, the Education Act of 2008. It is a law which was enacted by our members of parliament, and this law guides the education sector, be it private, be it tertiary, be it primary, be it secondary. And when it comes to the universal education, the implementation of universal in primary, in secondary and post-primary, or post-secondary, it is very clear. You see, there are mistakes that school administrators have been doing. Sending children out of class. Any school administrator who is watching me now should know that it is illegal for you to send a child who is on universal program in primary, in secondary, even in tertiary, because there are cost sharings in also tertiary institutions. It is illegal for you as a school administrator to send this child out of class. And I want to tell them that as they send these children out, they should know that they are breaking the law. And so when we get to them, they will have to answer. The law will have to really hold them very responsible.
Parents, students and community leaders in Kayunga district have been challenged to embrace and promote vocational and technical skills education as one of the ways to fight unemployment among the youth. This was during the second annual skills exhibition organized by the government-owned Ahmed Seguya Memorial Technical Institute under the theme Skills for Promoting Green Jobs and Entrepreneurship.
Green jobs and at our second exhibition here at Ahmed Seguya Memorial Technical Institute with a theme Skills for Promoting Green Jobs and Entrepreneurship. We always passionate to see that there is unemployment rate, that we mitigate unemployment rate in Uganda. So we try all means that we can have to see that our young people can broaden their thinking, can improve their critical thinking, they can boost their entrepreneurial skills, so that we can see that they can make a living out of things that nearby them, out of things that are not very expensive, out of
used waste to get a valuable resource. For example, they have a carpentry workshop and sawdust is created. So they are using this sawdust to create briquettes, reducing the volume of waste and also making waste a valuable resource. That is a new skill. It is not something we grew up seeing. Another thing I have seen is using solar to generate electricity. They have put a mobile unit, a mobile power unit. Before we used to go around with generators and whatnot.
I'm honored to stand before you today at Ahmed Seguya Memorial Technical Institute, where education meets action and where knowledge turns into solution for our community.
We can't take outside anything without using it. Everything we use it. We use these machines to get sawdust when cutting those woods. And then after cutting, we get this sawdust and we make this shelf.
The implementers of the Agri-Force 2030 program at Chambogo University have underscored the urgent need to translate science into actionable policies. The team reiterates the importance of coordinated efforts to end hunger through sustainable agriculture and improved food systems using academic research.
Unlike traditional research initiatives, Agri-Force 2030 focuses on translating scientific findings into actionable policies.
Aims at bridging the gap between policy makers, stakeholders, practitioners, and also researchers. So it uses the theory of change approach.
This approach ensures that research moves beyond academic spaces to directly inform government strategies, enabling practical solutions to food insecurity at the community level.
Shifted from traditional, from knowledge generation and then the outputs, such outputs alone, to community impact. And that's why we are involving now, we in that course of translation of science into policy and practice.
Communication is another key component of the project, aimed at simplifying research dissemination.
Scientists are learning to communicate their science, whereby even the local communities can get to understand their findings and recommendations.
Many smallholder farmers remain trapped in subsistence farming due to lack of capital, poor infrastructure, and unpredictable market conditions.
It emphasizes market access because the products these women are producing are marketable, but they cannot access the markets.
The program places strong emphasis on basic value addition to improve quality and ensure the adoption of timely innovations.
Expose these women to different products they can make out of their milk, and especially the ghee. First of all, we took a line of cosmetics, beauty products, creams, lip balms.
Improved livestock management practices under the program are enhancing both household nutrition and environmental sustainability.
Livestock farmers are very complex. One may wonder, how can someone have 80, 100 head of cattle and still be poor?
Farmers revealed that the program has provided technical training in livestock and guidance on climate-smart agriculture practices.
Kwarugesiga arebomberwe gwatandika kworoba no kubaki mwene cyo ntusima mnonga kandi amashita gito agente nago twatwayoherizeho gamwe cyambo gwabo kwa bakagatusha abantu tohereze sample
te tugakwesa amashita gamu amashita gente nigo turukozesa nka akahoho kakuzamu nebindi tuguraho chemicals inche ezitukongeramu.
To ensure long-term impact, the program is working closely with the local governments to integrate these practices into national agricultural frameworks.
To explain, to tell them, engage the local leaders and livestock officers in the community. But once they embraced it, especially with that, now we can see, when you invite them for trainings, they know that at the end of the day, there's a positive financial goal that they are going to achieve.
Experts further recommend that government should prioritize policies that support smallholder farmers through access to affordable credit, infrastructure development, and market integration strategies. Abdul Nasser Luwama for UBC.
When you don't use Momo, you get insulted by strangers. Save yourself from insults. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
And we now take you into the world of business. Communities in Entebbe are embracing organic farming as a pathway out of poverty, driven by a grassroots initiative by Gero Farms in partnership with Pelham Uganda. The initiative is equipping small-scale farmers with practical skills in sustainable agriculture, value addition, and agribusiness management. Let's take a look.
At the heart of Entebbe, a quiet transformation is taking root, one farmer at a time. Small-scale farmers are undergoing hands-on training in organic farming practices aimed at improving household incomes and food security.
And so the purpose of this training is to make sure that we empower and skill these young men and women, especially those that stay in town, to be able to produce food on their own, especially food that is organic, without necessarily using chemicals or synthetic chemicals. We very much know that if you really produce your own, you have reduced the household expenditure.
The training, organized by Gero Farms in collaboration with Pelham Uganda, covers a wide range of skills, including bioslurry, enriched compost making, mushroom growing, commercial local poultry farming, and agritourism.
Ultimate goal of this is to make sure that we have many more employed in production of organic products that we are able to feed into our markets, because many people are looking for organic products but they don't have where to find them. So we believe that this group is going to be one of the cadres and disciples that will be mass production of the organic products, especially to feed into the demand that is increasing within Entebbe region.
Participants are also being trained in financial literacy and agribusiness management to help them turn farming into sustainable enterprises. Officials from the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development have welcomed the initiative, describing it as timely and aligned with government efforts to promote urban farming and value addition.
So I want to appreciate this entity. It's one of the calling for the government, and they are supporting the efforts of the president. He has been talking about, not to work for honest stomach, but here we have seen people who have studied, they say they are able to go and practice it at their places.
The trainees say the program has already begun to change their mindset, giving them practical skills and renewed hope.
I have many chickens, but I made a big loss. But through training, I'm going to put that practice to avoid those losses.
You can do poultry on a very small piece of land.
You have to be patient about a business in order to gain out of it.
Gero Farms remains committed to promoting nature-based solutions to hunger and malnutrition through agri-food skilling and innovation.
And in the world of sports, the lineup for the 2026 University Football League final has been completed after a mouth-watering semi-final second leg tie at Kavule between St. Lawrence University and Mutesa 1 Royal University.
After scoreless first leg in Masaka a few days ago, Mutesa 1 Royal University arrived at Kavule to face St. Lawrence University, knowing that they are the underdogs. But by the end of 90 minutes, Mutesa 1 secured a 3-1 victory that sailed it to its first final. Goals by Eric Katende, Ali Lutwama and Brian Rothomio were enough to secure the final for Mutesa 1 Royal University, which is playing in just its second season in the league.
Our target was up to now is to step on another level forward in football. So I talked to my players that let us push ourselves so that we can step on another level forward. We are very determined and we are very, our work rate must be high to see that we can get this trophy.
As our team, as we are going back to prepare for finals, we are going to work hard. We are going to double our hard work, and we bring back the trophy home.
In the final, slated for 2nd May 2026, Mutesa 1 Royal University will face YMCA, that is at this stage for the first time in the 9 years. This year's University Football League, that is proudly powered by Pepsi, started with 29 teams in the league. Nal Swawini reporting for UBC in Kavule.
And that brings us to the end of our 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News, this 17th day of April 2026. My name is Wadulo Arnold. Mark Mugalu Muhammad is on sign language. Allow us to wish you a lovely weekend. Do enjoy responsibly, and don't forget to thank God for the gift of life. Thank you and good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.